Welcome to CSEGuru. In this session, we will discuss data structures and applications. In that, we are going to discuss the topic one-dimensional array. Already, we have discussed what is array, how to declare and initialize an array with example. Now, we are going to discuss the types of arrays. Generally, there are two types of array, one-dimensional array and two-dimensional array. One-dimensional array, if we are considering in the sense, if the element of an array is referenced by single subscript, that is A of 10. So here 10 is the subscript or index, we will tell it. Okay. So if the element of an array is referenced by single subscript or index in the sense, this array is called one-dimensional array. It is also called linear array. For example, if it is A of 10 in the sense, here the array will be specified like this. 10 sequential memory locations will be allocated for this array from A of 0 to A of n minus 1, that is A of 9. So 10 sequential memory locations will be allocated. So the elements will be accessed one after the another. Okay, so that this array is called, one-dimensional array is called linear array. And here it requires only one index to access an element. Suppose this element, if I want to access in this, location is 0, this is A of 1, A of 2 and A of 3. Okay. So if I want to access this element, directly I can access like A of 3. Okay. So here only one index is required. So declaration is data type, array name and the size of the array. For example, data type integer, array name here is mark. Within the square bracket, you have to specify the size. So 10 is the size of the array. So this is the declaration and example. And initialization, if you are considering in this sense, it is nothing but assigning the required values before processing is called initialization. Suppose if you are declaring an array from A of 0 to A of 4 in this sense, so here you need to assign values for this array. So each and every subscript or index, you need to assign the value. So how to assign the value? So that assigning value is nothing but initialization. There are different methods of initialization. So first method is initializing all specified memory locations. That is, if you are declaring int A of 10 in the sense, all the 10 memory locations, you will assign the values. If you are declaring int x of 100 in the sense, all the 100 memory locations, you are going to assign the values. That is nothing but initializing all specified memory locations. Okay. So all the allocated memory locations are initialized at a time. So at a time, you will assign values to the memory locations, whatever you have allocated during declaration. Okay, for example, here A of 5 equal to 10, 20, that is within this curly bracket, you have to specify the elements separated by comma. Okay, so 10, 20, 25, 35, 40 and it should end with a semicolon. So if you are considering here in this sense, this is nothing but A of 0. Next element is A of 1. One each sequentially it will take the values. Okay. So this is A of 2. This is A of 3. And this one is A of 4. Okay. Likewise only elements will be assigned. So here in array, if you are considering, elements will be assigned from the starting location. That is A of 0th location. So here if you are considering value 10. Memory representation if you are considering in this sense, this is the array index. A is the array name. Okay. And the index value if you are considering this 0, 1 and all index values. Okay. So first index it will store 10. Second index it will store 20. Third one 25, 35. Okay. So these are all the values we will store it. So here during declaration array is declared with the size 5. So all the 5 memory locations we have assigned the value. So this is initializing all specified memory locations. Next, the second method is partial array initialization. So here you have declared the array with the size 5, but you are going to initialize only 2 memory locations. So here all the allocated memory you are not going to initialize from the first itself. Whenever it is required, maybe during execution you are going to initialize. Or if it is not required, you are going to leave it. Okay. But here whatever the array size you have specified, total array locations, you are not going to initialize the value. Whatever it is required, only partial array you are going to initialize. Okay. If the values to be initialized are less than the array size is 5, here we have initialized only 2 values. Okay. So, if the initialization is done less than the array size, in the sense the elements are initialized from 0th location. See here, we have not specified any index here. We have specified only 2 values only. So, how it will be assigned to array? It will be assigned from 0th location. So, this will be A of 0 and this will be A of 1. That is, you cannot able to skip the starting location. Array will be initialized from the starting location. Then, what happens to the remaining locations? See, A of 0 location, A of 1 location, assign the value. What happened to the remaining locations? The remaining locations automatically it will be initialized to 0. Okay. So, for example, int A of 5 equal to within curly bracket you have specified 10, 20. So, first value will be assigned to first subscript of array. That is A of 0th location. Second value will be assigned to second subscript of array. So, A of 1 location value 20 will be assigned. Remaining 3 memory locations are there. Okay, in the same array, there are 3 remaining locations which we have not initialized any value. So, what will happen to these memory locations? Automatically, it will be initialized to 0. So, this is called partial array initialization. Next, third method if you are considering in the sense, initializing without size. So, already we know array is a fixed size data structure. Fixed size data structure. Why it is fixed size? If A of 10 if you have allocated in the sense, only 10 memory locations in that total program execution you are going to use. Not more than that. Even a single memory extra it will not allocate if you want during execution. That is not possible. Suppose if A of 5 if you are using in the sense, only it will allocate 5 memory location. A of 100 in the sense, only it will allocate 100 memory locations. Not more than that. So, in this case, what will happen? If you are allocating extra memory, it will be wasted. The space allocated will not be utilized for other program. If this program does not utilize in the sense, other program also cannot able to utilize because it will be reserved for this array, declared array, right? So, it is wasted. Suppose, if you have allocated less size and if you want to more during execution in the sense, shortage of array. During execution, you cannot able to allocate more if you want, if the program requires. That is not possible. So, if you are allocating the size extra also, there is a problem. Less also, that is a problem. If you don't know the size in advance. In that case, what we can able to do? Declare the array without specifying the size. Okay. So, here data type, array name, simply we are not going to specify the size here. Within the square bracket, you specify here, and within the curly brackets, the elements you want, you initialize. Okay. So, here automatically the array subscript, that is the array value will be assigned from starting location. A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3 and A of 4. So, here if you are considering, we have specified 5 values. So, totally 5 memory locations it will allocate here. So, A of 0th location 10 will be assigned, A of 1 20, A of 2 30, A of 3 40, A of 4 50. That's it. Suppose if you are assigning one more value extra here, what it will happen? Extra one more memory, automatically it will allocate. No need to specify the size here. Automatically it will allocate one more value and it will store the value. Okay. So, whatever the values you are specifying here, accordingly size will be allocated. It will not allocate more also. It will not allocate less also. Whatever the values you are specifying, accordingly it will allocate the size. But the restriction here is only from the starting location. If you want to allocate here for only for A of 3 position, that is not possible. Initialization directly with the specified subscript array index, that is not possible. Okay. Always, whenever you are initializing in this method, always the first value will be assigned to first index of array. Second value will be assigned to second index of array. Likewise only it will take it. Okay. So, this is initializing without size. Next method is initializing whole array to 0. Suppose during declaration, if you don't want to initialize the value, okay, you don't know the value, during execution only you can able to assign values to array memory location. So in that case, what we can able to do it in the sense, initialize the array values to 0. Just to specify the first value to 0, automatically all the memory locations, it will initialize the value to 0. So here int a of 4 in the sense totally 4 memory location up to here. This one will not be there. Okay. So here it has allocated 4 memory locations and only one value has specified, that is 0. So what is the meaning in the sense? All these specified memory locations, all the declared memory locations, it will initialize the value to 0. Only 1 0 is enough. It is not required to specify like this 0, 0, 0. Likewise, it is not required to specify. Only 1 0 is enough to initialize all the allocated memory locations in an array. Okay, so this is initializing whole array to 0. Next is array initialization with a string. So what do you mean by string in the sense? Sequence of characters enclosed within double quotes. So within double quotes, if you are enclosing the sequence of characters in the sense, this is called string. So within double quotes, you have to specify. This is a string, sequence of characters. Okay, and in string, what is a special thing in the sense? The string always ends with a null character. What do you mean by this null character in the sense? Whenever you are reading or printing the string in the sense, you are encountering the /0 in the sense, meaning is we have reached the end of the string. So, whenever you are storing a string in a memory location, extra one memory you need to allocate to store this null character. Okay. If you are not allocating, automatically the last memory location it will take it. Whether the size is there or not, it will take the last location. In that allocated size, it will take the last memory location to store the null character by default. It is not required by the user to specify and store. By default, it will occupy /0. Okay. And here, for example, here data type for string is character. B within square bracket, because if you are specifying the size, it will allocate only the declared size. Okay. So, if you don't know the size in advance in the sense, specify like this. B of within square bracket switch. Okay. So, first character will occupy the first memory location in an array. Second character, second subscript location. Third, fourth, fifth. Okay. And here the last memory location automatically /0 will be added. Suppose if you have allocated only up to a of 5, this memory location you have not allocated, and here the total length of the string is 6. We have allocated only 6 memory location. In that case, what it will do? It will store the 5 characters and the last character automatically it will store the null character. It will skip this last one. It won't store because memory is not enough here. In that case, automatically null character it will store here. It won't store this H. So, whenever you are allocating the size, you have to allocate length of the string plus 1 memory you have to allocate. Always this is required. Otherwise, it will truncate the last character and it will automatically store the null character. So, this is all about different methods to initialize one-dimensional array. Okay. And example, if you are considering in the sense, here we have declared the array size with a 10. I is equal to 0, this is a looping variable, and n is the array size. Okay, so here enter the size of the array. So here we have allocated totally 10 memory locations, and n accordingly we have to give. Okay, n it should not exceed 10. So here, suppose I have entered 5 in the sense, here n value is 5, it will store 5 elements, totally 5 elements it will store from 0 to a of 4. Okay, so this is a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 3 and a of 4. Okay, so when I value is 0, it will accept one value, and when I value is 1, it will accept the second value. I value is 2, I value is 3, I value is 4. So 5 elements it will accept. See here, this represents the address. Okay, the memory location it will allocate and store the array values. Then the array elements, if you want to display in the sense, same for loop condition only, just to display using printf statement. If you are asking to display, these elements will be printed in the output screen. That's it. So this is a simple example to implement array. So this is one dimensional array. In one dimensional array, it is enough to use only one for loop. See here, only one for loop is enough. To accept the input also, to display the output also, only one for loop is enough, and specify the looping condition. Okay, so this is all about one dimensional array. Thank you for watching this video.